I have created an Ottoman Empire League system in Football Manager, featuring 76 clubs from 30 modern day countries. Simulating 50 seasons into the future, can any club stop the Turkish Big Three and be crowned the champions of the Ottoman Empire? Hey, how's it going, and welcome to another Super League video. And this time round I have created an Ottoman Empire League system featuring 76 clubs in total from 30 different modern day countries. It's one of my biggest leagues to date, and I'm very excited to see how this one will turn out in today's video. Also, what I should mention before we get started with the leagues and the teams we're featuring today, etc. This was the hardest one I've had to create yet because of all the modern day borders we have today. It was very hard to research which teams or which cities, what countries should be featured in the league system here today. Obviously, some of them are very obvious, such as Turkey, for example, and other nations around there as well. But of course, the Ottoman Empire existed for almost 600 years, or just over 600 years. And of course, the core of the Ottoman Empire was Turkey, and that is why I've taken over the Turkish league system here today. We've got 3 leagues to look forward to in total, and of course the majority of the clubs here featuring today are from Turkey, but we've got a whole host of clubs from Saudi Arabia, Greece as well, and many other nations. So let's get started with the Super League first of all, which of course has taken over the Turkish Super League. And if we look at the teams here, we've got a whole host of Saudi clubs in here, such as Al Ali. We've also got Al Hilal, Al Ittihad, Al Nassr, Al Shabab and Al Hilal as well in the Super League. We've also got a bunch of Turkish teams such as Adana DS. We've also got Besiktas, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, the 3 biggest Turkish clubs, of course. We've also got a few Greek clubs in the Super League as well, with AEK Athens. We've also got Olympiakos, Panathinaikos and PAOK as well. We've also got 1 Serbian team in Red Star Belgrade. We've also got 1 Hungarian team here in Fenerbahce. We've also got 1 Qatari club here in the Super League in Al Sadd, and also 1 Egyptian club in Al Ali as well. Not Al Ali from Saudi Arabia, as you can see they're spelt slightly different here. Al Ali with a Y is the Egyptian version. Al Ali with the I and the KSA next to it are the Saudi version. Also, I've got to mention we've got 1 Bulgarian club here in the Super League as well, and that is Ludogorets down there as well. So we've got 1 club from Bulgaria, 1 from Serbia, 1 from Hungary, a few from Greece, a few from Turkey, and a few from Saudi Arabia and Qatar as well in the Super League. So already the Super League is quite varied, but as we go lower down in the league system here, it gets even more varied with the clubs that are coming up. From the Saudi clubs, the ones that are up for debate are the clubs from Riyadh, such as Al Hilal and Al Ali, because well, for my research, the western side of Saudi Arabia, or modern Saudi Arabia, definitely did feature in the Ottoman Empire. The rest of Saudi Arabia, such as Riyadh, is a little bit up for debate, but of what I researched, it did say that it was part of the Ottoman Empire, but it wasn't conclusive. So I'm not entirely sure if Al Hilal and Al Ali should be featured, but I've decided to include them anyway because it led more towards me featuring in the video than not featuring in the video. So they are here today as well. Into the first league, that is taking over the Turkish First League, of course. And we have 18 more clubs in the First League as well. At the top of the list here, you can see 1 Qatari club in Al Dahail and 1 Saudi club in Al Attifaq as well. We've also got a Cypriot club here, 2 Cypriot clubs here in the First League. First of the Cypriot clubs in Apoel. We've also got Ammonia as well. We've also got a couple of Israeli clubs in Maccabi Haifa and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Another Bulgarian club in CSKA Sofia. We've got CFR Cluj from Romania as well. Levski are also from Bulgaria as well, also from Sofia, of course. A couple of Turkish clubs in here. Partizan, the only other Serbian club featuring today. Red Stars, Fierce Rivals, of course. We've got Pyramids from Egypt. Of course, Pyramids are very famous in Egypt, and it's an interesting name. And we've also got Steaua Bucharest from Romania as well, and Zamalek, who also are from Egypt. Well, we go down to the second league, which is the 3rd tier. We've actually got 2 different leagues here, but obviously they are exactly the same tier. We've got Group A and Group B. So I'm pretty sure 3 teams get promoted every season from the 3rd tier. Obviously, the 2 champions from each group, and then one team from the playoffs. So, 1 out of the next 10 teams will get promoted to go along with the 2 champions. In Group A here, we have 1 Sudanese club in Al Hilal Omdurman. Again, this is one that's a little bit up for debate for me here to feature a Sudanese club in the video, but again, I was leaning more towards featuring than not featuring it, so that one could be up for debate as well. We've also got a Syrian club in here, in Al Jaish. Got Al Quwa Al Jawiya, who are the biggest club from Iraq, here featuring today. We've got Budućnost, who are the biggest club from Montenegro. We've got Chornomorets, who are the only club featuring from Ukraine here today. They are based in the city of Odessa. We've also got Dunstreda, who are the only team from Slovakia. That's actually quite an interesting story, this one. I only found out myself the other day when I was doing the research for this. Dunstreda are a Slovakian team, but back in the day it was part of Hungary. And also the... maybe I'm wrong here, though. Maybe I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but according to my research, Dunstreda is basically supported by Hungarians. So they feature here today, even though Slovakia, modern Slovakia, wasn't part of the Ottoman Empire. Where Dunstreda is located, it was a part of the empire. We've also got a couple more Turkish clubs, of course. We've got Hilal El-Quds. Al-Quds. Are they the Palestinian team? They are, yeah. Al-Hilal Al-Quds are the only Palestinian team featuring in the video here today. So they're here in the Group A as well. Osijek are the only team from Croatia here featuring today. Another one that was a little bit up for debate. Was Croatia part of the Ottoman Empire? It was very much inconclusive. But one thing that was for sure, though, Osijek, the city of Osijek, was part of the Ottoman Empire, so I decided to feature them here today as well. They are the only Croatian representative of the video. We've also got Tishrin, who are the biggest club from Syria. We've got Vardar, who are the club from Macedonia, and we've also got Zrinjskin here from Bosnia as well. Going to the Group B, top of the list here, we've got Ahed. Well, Ahed. They are the biggest club from Lebanon. We've also got Al Ali Tripoli, who are the representative from Libya as well. Al Wadat, the representative from Jordan as well. A couple of Turkish clubs. We've also got a couple of Algerian clubs in here as well, in Belouizdad and ES Atif as well. We've got ES Sahel from Tunisia. KF Tirana, the only representative from Albania. Nil Sami Orhai from Moldova as well. And also, let's not forget Pristina. Pristina from Kosovo. They are the lowest ranked team of the entire 76 clubs here. Only with a 1-star reputation. So they are the biggest outside team to do anything on the video. So yeah, a lot of countries on show here in the Ottoman Empire. Well, at its height, it did stretch over 3 continents. Africa, Asia and Europe, of course. Of course, not the entirety of each continent, of course, but it did stretch over those 3 continents nonetheless. So a lot of countries on show here today, of course. Down here in the 3rd tier, not expecting any of these teams to do too much, although Osijek, if you watched any of my previous Super League videos, they are a bit of a Super League legend, Osijek, so watch out for them. But other than that, I can't really see anything happening much from these teams in the 3rd tier. But in the 2nd tier, we've got quite a few big teams in there, to be honest, such as CFR Cluj, Partizan Belgrade are a big team as well, Steaua Bucharest. We've also got Maccabi Haifa and Maccabi Tel Aviv as well, Apoel from Cyprus. So definitely one of these teams in here can definitely do something. Also, I forgot to mention ES Tunis, I think, who are the biggest club from Tunisia here in the 2nd tier as well. But the main teams we'll be focused on here today will be in the Super League, of course, and of course there are teams that definitely stand out, such as the 3 big Turkish clubs, Besiktas, Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, of course. But also the Saudi clubs, Al Hilal, also with their money they've got available as well. Al Ittihad, Al Nassr, Al Ali, for example. But also, don't rule out the Greek clubs either. You know, Olympiakos and Panathinaikos are 2 big clubs as well. Ludogorets are pretty big. Ferencváros are the biggest from Hungary. And also Red Star Belgrade from Serbia as well. So we've got 4 leagues to look forward to. Well, 3 tiers, but 4 leagues. We've also got the Ottoman Empire Cup, which is taking over the Turkish Cup, of course. And the Ottoman Empire Super Cup as well. And of course, I'll be looking at European football as well. I highly doubt any of our clubs can win the Champions League, but hopefully some of them can win a Europa League or even a Europa Conference League as well. And if we see here the list of the reputation of the clubs, well, the 3 biggest clubs at the start of the video all hail from Istanbul, which of course used to be called Constantinople and was capital of the Ottoman Empire for many centuries. So it's quite ironic that these 3 clubs are the biggest, seeing as they are from the capital. And of course, that's Galatasaray, Besiktas and Fenerbahce, all with a 4-star continental reputation as well. So nothing separating these three clubs at the start at all, really. Below that point, though, we have the 3 big Saudi clubs in Al Hilal, Al Ittihad and Al Nassr. But to be honest, we've got a whole host of clubs here with a 3.5-star reputation, all the way down to Al Ettifaq and Al Dahail, who start off in the First League. So if we look at the Super League itself, 15 of the 18 clubs have a 3.5-star reputation, and the top 3 clubs have a 4-star reputation. So there is not much in it in terms of the clubs at all. Obviously, they're all on a very similar level. Well, the big clubs are on a similar level, so to speak. But there were 3 teams that kind of stand out. Well, to be honest, the 6 teams here are the teams that do stand out. But as I said, don't rule out the likes of Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, Ludogorets, Red Star, Ferencváros, even Trabzonspor as well. All these clubs can definitely do something in the video. If you're new to my videos, well, what happens here, I simulate 50 seasons into the future to see which club will win the most trophies in total from all the competitions by the end of the video and is crowned the champions of the Ottoman Empire. I will also stop off after every 5 seasons to see which team has been dominant in that period. So without further ado, let's go forward now to 5 seasons into the future. Which club will dominate the early stages? I should mention that if you do want to download this database and play it for yourself, there'll be a link down in the description below. You can download it and play any team you like from the 76 clubs here in the Ottoman Empire League system. And also, if you've got any other Super Leagues to recommend, please let me know down in the comment section below. I've got a whole host of Super Leagues in a list, about 50 Super Leagues that are ready to be made. So obviously I can't guarantee I'll make it anytime soon, but do recommend me the Super Leagues because I do like to see them and they definitely will go on the list. Anyway, 5 seasons played. Well, the first thing is bad news. We've got no 4-star continental reputation teams anymore after 5 seasons. Galatasaray, Fenerbahce and Besiktas have all declined and neither of them are on the top 3 anymore apart from Fenerbahce in 3rd place there because Al Nassr are now officially the biggest club from the Ottoman Empire as it stands, followed closely by Al Hilal, both with 3.5 stars, but there's a whole host of teams still on 3.5 stars. But saying that, lots of teams have declined early on here, and we almost had a whole page of 4 to 3.5 star teams. Now it's less than half a page, so a lot of teams have declined very early on here in the first 5 seasons. Other teams with 3.5 stars though, we've got Fenerbahce, Al Ali, Galatasaray, Besiktas, Al Ittihad, Trabzonspor, Al Sadd, AEK, Al Ettifaq and Adana DS as well. So the likes of PAOK, Ludogorets, Ferencvaros, Panathinaikos, Al Dahail as well, they've all declined to not be a 3.5 star team anymore. Well, if we actually look at the Super League itself, there's a very common theme going on here. And the theme is Saudi Arabia, because the first 5 Super Leagues have been won by Saudi clubs. Al Hilal won the first ever Ottoman Empire Super League in 2024. Then Al Ali won it in 2025, followed by Al Ittihad. And then finally, the 4th big Saudi club, Al Nassr, won their first as well in 2027. But Al Nassr did what none of them before them could do. They actually defended their title in this latest season. So Al Nassr have been the most successful so far in the early stages here with 2 Super League wins. But Al Ittihad, Al Ali and Al Hilal all have 1 apiece as well. Also, the league has climbed to be in the top 10 already in the first 5 seasons. Only started as number 11 though, so it's not like it's been a rapid climb. But it's nice to see the league in the top 10 already. If we look at this latest season just gone though, Al Nassr won the league title just by 3 points though over Fenerbahce in 2nd place. The other 3 Saudi clubs make up the top 5 there. Galatasaray in 7th place, ain't too good for them. And also Besiktas in 10th place, ain't too good for them either. If we look at the relegated teams from this season, well, Konyaspor, Maccabi Haifa and Al Dahail all got relegated to the 1st league. Talking of the 1st league, and the latest champions have been Alianaspor, who won it with 70 points. They were promoted along with Omonia from Cyprus and Al Shabab from Saudi Arabia as well. If we look at here, we've got some big teams here in the 1st league already. Panathinaikos have been relegated from the Super League into the 1st league already. So have Ferencvaros as well. Steaua Bucharest are in here. Also Tishreen have been promoted to the 1st league, which is nice to see, from Syria of course. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, Apoel and El Jaish, also from Syria, have been relegated to the 2nd league. Well, looking at the 2nd league Group A here, and the latest champions have been Apollon Limassol, who are also from Cyprus. What a title race we had in the Group A here, though. Only 4 points separating 1st place and 5th place OFI there. They've been promoted along with with Turkish club Gaziantep as well, and ES Atif must be absolutely gutted from Algeria there, just missing out on promotion in this latest season. In terms of big clubs here in the 2nd league Group A, we've got CFR Cluj in a 13th position, not too good from them, and also Debrecen, ES Tunis, and CSK Sofia have all been relegated to the 4th tier. Well, in Group B, and the latest champions have been Sarajevo from Bosnia, of course. They've been promoted back to the 1st league. Al Ali from Egypt actually start off in the Super League, so to see them in the 2nd league Group B is very, very shocking, has to be said. And also, what's even more shocking, Olympiacos finished 15th in the 3rd tier this season. They were 14 points above the relegation zone, so not really getting threatened to be relegated, but they are in the 3rd tier, which is absolutely shocking. But even more shocking than that is Red Star. Red Star Belgrade have been relegated from the 4th tier to the 4th tier, with just 8 points. 1 win in the season. Red Star and Olympiacos both start off in the Super League, by the way. But after 5 seasons, Red Star are in the 4th tier, and Olympiacos are just keeping their heads above water. Well, into the Ottoman Empire Cup, and we finally have a Turkish winner of a big competition here, but it's not one of the Turkish teams you think it would be. Adana DS won it in 2024, the first win for a Turkish club, so nice for them. After that was an Al Hilal domination. They won 3 cups in a row from 2025 to 2027, and the latest winners have been Al Ittihad. Well, into the Super Cup, and bizarrely, only 3 Super Cups played so far, but they've all been won by Al Hilal. Well, early days, we've already had a team reach a European final. It was a Turkish team, it was Besiktas, who reached the Europa Conference League final in 2025, but unfortunately they lost to Tottenham. Well, if you're wondering why after 5 seasons there have been such rapid falls from some clubs, Partizan, by the way, are in the 4th tier already as well. Red Star have joined them in the 4th tier, and Olympiacos just survived from relegation. Well, that is because in the Turkish league system here, you're only allowed a maximum of 11 foreigners in your squad. But then saying that, it's exactly the same for every single club here in the Turkish league system. So why are AEK, for example, from Greece, PAOK as well, still sitting here in the Super League, Ludogorets from Bulgaria in 8th place? So it's the same for every single club, and also a maximum of 11 foreigners in the squad. That means you can have 11 foreigners in your squad, and also you can just sign a few Turkish players here and there to make up your squad and obviously build from that point onwards. So that is definitely an excuse for some of these teams being declining so rapidly at the start of the video here. But also, as I said, they should be able to work their way around that. And also, if you do start off as a team in the database, then obviously that is something you have to work your way around. Make sure you sign some Turkish players to build up your club. As I said, it's the same for every single club here. So the Saudi clubs are doing very well. Of course, they have finances behind them as well, but some other clubs have had some rapid falls in these early 5 seasons. Let's just hope some of them can bounce back and do something in the near future. Let's go forward now to 10 seasons. Will the Saudi clubs still be on top? Well, 10 seasons played now. We have a new team on top in terms of reputation, and it is Al Hilal. They are top of the list with 3.5 stars, but they're joined with 3.5 stars, along with Al Nassr, Trabzonspor, who are the biggest Turkish club now, Fenerbahce, Al Ali from Saudi Arabia, Besiktas, Al Ittihad, Al Sadd, Galatasaray, Konyaspor, and AEK as well. So in terms of 3.5 star teams, they're all Saudi clubs or Turkish clubs, apart from AEK Athens from Greece, of course, and also Al Sadd from Qatar as well. Just below the 3.5 star teams as well, we have Pyramids as well, also from Egypt, so they are just behind the 3.5 star teams. Well, 10 seasons played now, but same old story. It's still a Saudi domination here. The first 10 Super Leagues have all been won by Saudi clubs. Al Nassr made it three Super Leagues in a row before Al Hilal stopped them, winning 3 in a row for themselves from 2030 to 2032. But Al Nassr back to winning ways in this latest season. So Al Nassr have won 4 Super League titles already. Al Hilal have also won 4 Super League titles as well, though. In terms of this latest season just gone, though, Al Nassr were dominant. They finished 14 points clear of Besiktas in 2nd place. Also, Fenerbahce finished in 3rd place. And got Al Hilal, Trabzonspor, and Al Sadd making up the European places here. In terms of relegated teams, well, they're all Turkish clubs have been relegated this season. Gaziantep, Kasimpasa, and Ankara Gucu as well. Also got an Israeli club in the Super League and Maccabi Haifa. And we've also got the Egyptian club Pyramids in the Super League as well. Well, into the First League, and the latest champions have been Al Shabab, who are from Saudi Arabia. They've been promoted along with Antalyaspor and Başakşehir from also an Istanbul club as well, all been promoted back to the Super League. Panathinaikos are still sitting here in the First League, 6th position, so they're teasing getting promoted back to the Super League. Can't see Olympiacos in here though, so they seem to be struggling still in the 3rd tier, maybe even worse, we shall see in a sec. Osijek are here in the First League though, nothing more than a mid-table club, along with Apoel and Ferencvaros as well. Also, look at that, look at bottom of the league, Ludogorets. They were 8th position in the Super League 5 seasons ago. 5 seasons later, they've finished bottom of the First League with just 21 points. Well, into Group A of the Second League, and the latest champions have been Faro Constanta, who are from Romania. They won it quite dominantly as well. They were promoted along with fellow Turkish club 52 Odospor. In terms of big clubs here in Group A, well, Dinamo Batumi, I forgot to mention them. They're the only team from Georgia featured in today's video. And also, look at that, Partizan. They have got promoted back to the 3rd tier, but they didn't last very long because they finished bottom of the league with just 13 points. So it seems like these rules in Turkey here are affecting the Serbian clubs the most, because Partizan and Red Star have just dropped off the face of the earth here. Absolutely terrible for them too. Yeah, talking of Red Star, into the Group B, and Red Star not even anywhere to be seen here. Tishreen are the latest champions though, winning it with 72 points from Syria, of course. And big clubs here in Group B, we've got CFR Cluj from Romania in here, Sarajevo from Bosnia, Steaua Bucharest from Romania, and also ES Tunis, the biggest club from Tunisia, finished bottom of the league with 20 points as well. So there's a lot of drama here in these early stages of the league system. So very big clubs falling out the league system altogether. Some holding their own in the Super League still. But at the moment, it's just all about the Saudi clubs. They are dominating the Super League. Can't say I'm too surprised, really. They have got much more finances available than the rest of the other clubs. Let's just hope some of the other clubs will get better as the time goes on. Into the cup, and the latest champions have been Fenerbahce, who won their first, they actually won their second cup, shall I say. They won the first cup in 2030. Al Hilal have also won 2 more cups in the last 5 seasons, and Al Nassr also won a cup in 2032. Well, into the Super Cup, and only 2 winners so far, Al Nassr or Al Hilal. Al Hilal won the first 3 Super Cups, Al Nassr won the next 2, followed by 2 more for Al Hilal and 1 more for Al Nassr. Well, we've had our first finalist of the Europa League now in the last 5 seasons, and it was Al Hilal, playing in the European football these days, of course, playing in the Ottoman Empire. They lost to Sporting Lisbon, though, unfortunately, in the 2030 final. Well, after 10 seasons played, I think it's safe to say there's only 2 teams on top at the moment. The 2 teams we're talking about, of course, are Al Nassr and Al Hilal. Al Nassr are in second place with 8 trophies won in the first 10 seasons, but Al Hilal won 6 more. Al Hilal won 14 trophies in the first 10 seasons. They've both won 4 Super League titles, but Al Hilal turned out to be a domestic cup specialist, winning 5 cups and 5 Super Cups as well, also reaching the Europa League finals. So Al Hilal are firmly on top as the biggest club in the Ottoman Empire at the moment, but closely followed by Al Nassr. Will these 2 clubs still be on top after 15 seasons? Well, 15 seasons played now, and it's changed again at the top in terms of reputation. Again, we have a Turkish club on top, and we have a 4-star reputation back, which is nice to see. Not a continental reputation rating, though, only national, but 4 stars nonetheless. And it is Besiktas, who are now the top team in the Ottoman Empire. And they're closely followed by Fenerbahce as well, also from Turkey, of course. They've got a 3.5-star reputation, though. They're joined on 3.5 stars, along with Al Nassr, Al Hilal, who have dropped down to be the 3rd and 4th biggest now. Trabzonspor, Al Ali, Al Sadd, AEK Athens, Galatasaray, Konyaspor, and Al Ittifaq. So from the top teams here, there's a familiar theme going on. That is, it's Turkish teams or Saudi clubs. 1 Qatar club in Al Sadd, and AEK Athens seem to be holding their own quite well as a solid Super League club at the moment. But outside these nations here, not much is happening in terms of the bigger clubs. Well, I did ask to see if anyone can stop Al Nassr and Al Hilal in the next 5 seasons, and they certainly have. And Besiktas certainly did. They won 3 Super Leagues in a row, Besiktas, from 2034 to 2036. Then we had our next Turkish winner of the Super League in Fenerbahce, win it in 2037. Al Nassr back to winning ways, though, winning the Super League in 2038. And those three clubs I just mentioned are top 3 this season just gone as well. Al Nassr finished as champions, 7 points clear of Fenerbahce in 2nd place. Besiktas in 3rd place, and Al Hilal in 4th place. Also, in terms of the Super League itself, we've only got Saudi, Turkish, Greek, or Qatari clubs featuring in the Super League at the moment. Well, into the First League, and the latest champions have been Başakşehir, who have been promoted back to the Super League, along with Pyramids and Panathinaikos as well. Pyramids have, they've ended up being the biggest club from Egypt in these early stages here, back to the Super League. Also, Panathinaikos back in the Super League is nice to see as well. Also, Olympiacos are back in the First League, and teasing us with a little bit of a promotion push there. So nice to see Olympiacos getting back to a decent level, although they have to be in the Super League. Let's be honest, Olympiacos are a massive club from Greece, so they should be doing a lot better than that. Also, Ferencváros are not doing very well. The biggest club from Hungary are just lingering down in the mid-table every time I look at them in the First League, so they aren't doing much at all. Neither are Osijek as well. Well, in terms of the cup, it's been dominated by Turkish clubs. 5 of the last 6 seasons have been won by a Turkish club. We left off with Fenerbahce winning the cup. Following that point, Besiktas won 2 of the next 3 Ottoman Empire Cups. Al Hilal won another one in 2035, and then Trabzonspor won their first competition, I believe, followed by Galatasaray. Been very quiet so far, but they have won a cup now in 2038. Also nice to see that the Cup has cracked the top 10 as well, along with the Super League in terms of reputation. Into the Super Cup, and again, the Turkish domination is starting in the Super Cup as well. Al Nassr made back-to-back Super Cups in 2034, but then Besiktas won 3 in a row from 2035 to 2037. And Fenerbahce, the latest winners in 2038. So Besiktas have been very dominant in these last 5 seasons, it has to be said. Well, we've had 3 finalists in the European competition so far, but we're yet to see any of them win a European competition, because AEK Athens reached the Europa League final as well in 2037, losing out to Marseille, unfortunately. So AEK Athens have definitely taken the crown as the biggest club from Greece in these early stages here. They're a firm Super League club, and they've also reached the European final as well. But saying that, Panathinaikos have been promoted back to the Super League, and Olympiacos have started some sort of resurgence as well in the last 5 seasons. Well, these last 5 seasons have been mainly about Besiktas, let's be honest. They've won 8 trophies now, and they're sitting in 3rd place. In 2nd place, though, we have Al Nassr still with 10 trophies. But in 1st place is still Al Hilal with 15 trophies. Although saying that, Al Hilal haven't won a Super League since 2032. But Besiktas have won 3, and Al Nassr have won 2 more as well. Let's go forward now to 20 seasons. Will Besiktas continue to be on top here in the Ottoman Empire? Well, another 5 seasons forward into the future, but Besiktas are still on top with that 4-star national reputation. And in 2nd place are still Fenerbahce as well, so hasn't changed much in the last 5 seasons. We're getting less and less teams with 3.5-star reputation though, and Fenerbahce are joined with Al Nassr, Galatasaray, Al Sadd, AEK, Al Ali, Trabzonspor, Al Ittihad and Başakşehir with a 3.5-star reputation. So from the top clubs, they're only from Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Qatar, and Greece of course in AEK Athens, who are still holding their own very nicely as one of the biggest clubs here. Wait a minute though, where on earth are Al Hilal? Wow, okay. In the last 5 seasons, Al Hilal have taken a massive decline all the way down here with just a 3-star reputation just above Sivasspor here. So Al Hilal have declined rapidly over the last 5 seasons. Well, into the Super League, and the Turkish clubs continue to dominate because Besiktas have won 2 more Super Leagues in 2039 and 2042. Between that point though, Fenerbahce won back-to-back Super League titles. Al Nassr again though have won the latest Super League title in 2043. Surprised to not see Galatasaray win a Super League title yet, but Besiktas and Fenerbahce are certainly chipping in with Super League titles more and more these days it seems. And these two, well, they're top of the list in terms of reputation, and they're proving it with their Super League wins as well. In this latest season just gone though, Al Nassr top of the list with 70 points, Fenerbahce 2nd place, followed by Al Sadd from Qatar, Al Ittihad from Saudi Arabia and Başakşehir from Turkey. Also, AEK are holding their own still very well in here as well. A lot of Turkish clubs in here. Pyramids from Egypt are in the Super League. Olympiacos just survived relegation this season above fierce rivals Panathinaikos. And they actually had a worse goal difference, so it must be down to the results between teams. So that is disgusting for Panathinaikos, but I'm sure the Olympiacos fans absolutely love that. But look at that, bottom of the league here. The most successful club so far in the video. It's bottom of the Super League this season just gone. Al Hilal with just 28 points, and they've been relegated to the 1st League. So this league system is absolutely brutal. It doesn't take long for you to decline in this league system, and Al Hilal, the top team so far, are down in the 1st League. Also, the league is actually now the 8th biggest league in Europe now, so that's looking very nice. Can it crack the top 5 by the end of the video? We shall see. It might be a bit hard to crack the top 5, but 8th biggest league in Europe now. That's very nice to see. Well, into the 1st League, and the latest champions have been Al Shabab from Egypt, from Saudi Arabia, with 74 points. They've been promoted along with 2 Turkish clubs in Samsunspor and Karagücü as well. A lot of different variety here in the 1st League, much more variety than the Super League itself, of course. We've got Palkin here from Greece, Aris from Greece as well. Dinamo Batumi from Georgia are doing very nice mid-table in the 1st League. Sarajevo from Bosnia as well. We've got Hapoel Beersheva from Israel. Fenerbahce from Turkey. They're always 14th and 15th, Fenerbahce. Not doing very well at all, are they really? But at least they're not declining like Red Star and Partizan, but they are still sitting in the 1st League. Bottom of the league, though, is Osijek, who've been relegated to the 2nd League, along with Zamalek and Apollon Limassol. It seems like Osijek's heroics are not happening here in the Ottoman Empire, although there's still time for them. There's still 30 seasons left to go, and Osijek are a Super League beast, so still don't rule them out yet, but they're not doing too well as of yet. Well, into the Cup, and in 2039, Al Sadd won their 1st competition. The 1st win for a Qatari club, I believe that. Al Sadd are the biggest Qatari club these days. They're actually rivaling winning their Super League title, so Al Sadd may win a Super League title in the near future. Al Nassr won 2 more Cups as well, though, in 2040 and 2043. Besiktas won one in 2041, and also the 1st competition for a Greek team as well, I believe, as PAOK won the Cup in 2042. Into the Super Cup, and Galatasaray won it in 2039, followed by Al Sadd, then Al Nassr, then Fenerbahce, and the latest winners have been Besiktas. Well, we had 4 finalists now in the European competition, but finally one of them have won that European final, and it actually was Al Hilal, who won the Europa Conference League in 2039, beating Villarreal in the final. So they're falling rapidly since that season just gone. So just 5 seasons ago they won the Europa Conference League, and now they've been relegated to the 1st League. Well, to be honest, after 20 seasons here, it hasn't really been a dominant force in the last 5 seasons, although Fenerbahce and besiktas are on top. And in saying that, besiktas actually finished 11th in the league this season. It's a pathetic title defence from them. So Fenerbahce, Al Nassr and besiktas are the teams that are on top at the moment. No other club has won the Super League other than those 3 clubs since Al Hilal in 2032. So these 3 clubs are definitely on top, but the Super League and the Cup wins are getting shared quite evenly between these 3 clubs. Can we see a team stand out in the next 5 seasons? 25 seasons played now, and changes again in terms of the reputation, because Al Nassr are back on top and they are the only team with a 4-star reputation now. And the good news is they have a continental reputation rating, so they've got that 4-star continental rating back again in the video after 25 seasons here, and it is Al Nassr. But look at that, in second place we actually have AEK Athens from Greece, who are definitely holding their own very well in the video, it has to be said. They are a big club, but I wouldn't say they're the biggest Greek club. They're also joined on 3.5 stars with Al Ittihad, Besiktas and Talyaspor doing relatively well. Al Sadd, Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, Al Hilal and Al Shabab. So Al Hilal back with a 3.5-star reputation, so it seems like the decline didn't happen for too long, although saying that they're only like the 8th or 9th biggest club of the Ottoman Empire now, which isn't too good. Fenerbahce have declined to only be a 3-star team now, so they're taking quite a hit in the last 5 seasons. Well, in the Super League, it is back to being Saudi domination again, because the last 6 winners have all been Saudi clubs. Al Ahly won their first Super League, I believe, in 2044 there. Yeah, I don't think Al Ahly have won a Super League. No, they did. Yeah, they did. They won 1 Super League early on, so that's their second Super League title, excuse me. Al Nassr, though, made it 3 Super Leagues in a row after that point, from 2045 to 2047. And Al Ittihad made it their second Super League as well in 2048. If we look at the latest league table here, Al Ittihad finished 6 points clear of Al Nassr in second place and Besiktas in third place as well. Besiktas are still nearing the top here, but they haven't won a Super League since 2042. AEK Athens in 4th place there, and in 5th place you have Antalyaspor. Also nice to see the other Greek clubs here. Panathinaikos up to 6th place in the Super League now, and Olympiakos in 8th place. It doesn't sound that too amazing, but when you think Olympiakos were on the brink of being relegated to the 4th tier, to be back in the Super League in 8th position shows a rapid climb from them, which is nice to see. And also it's nice to see 3 Greek clubs in the top 8 of the video here. Top 8 of the Super League, shall I say. Also, Al Hilal are back in the Super League, of course, but not doing too much. Only a mid-table club. Look how tight the relegation battle was, by the way. Al Hilal definitely could have got relegated this season. Only 4 points clear the relegation zone. In terms of relegated teams, though, Fenerbahce have been relegated to the First League. So, what a fall from grace from Fenerbahce. They only won the Super League, what? Less than 10 years ago in 2004, back-to-back Super Leagues as well in 2040 and 2041. So, as I said, this league system is absolutely brutal. First Al Hilal, now Fenerbahce have been relegated as well, along with Pyramids and Al Dahail. Well, talking of relegated clubs, and Al Ahly, who only just won the Super League not too long ago, in 2044, have just won the First League this latest season, so obviously they must have been relegated. They won it with 72 points. They've been promoted along with Samsunspor and Alanya as well. But yeah, Al Ahly, Al Hilal and Fenerbahce have all been relegated now to the First League, so that is quite shocking, has to be said. Also, look at that, in 3rd position we have University Craiova. I know it doesn't say University there, but I'm not even attempting to pronounce that. They're from Romania, finished in 3rd place, almost got promoted to the Super League, so they're doing very well. Also, Sarajevo from Bosnia teasing us with promotion this season, so you know, these clubs from the other nations are doing quite well as well. Hapoel Beersheva still here in the First League. ES Tunis have had a rise in the last 5 seasons. Ferencvaros, they're always 14th or 15th. Every time I've looked, they've been 14th or 15th in the First League, so that is very strange from them. At least they're not declining to be a second league team, but let's be honest, they're not doing much else. They're always 14th or 15th every time I look at them. Hopefully it'll change at some point. In terms of relegated teams, you've got Zamalek, Osijek and Steaua Bucharest all been relegated to the second league. Well, in terms of the Cup, we've got some unfamiliar names here winning the Cup in the last 5 seasons. Al Ittihad have won 2 more Cups in 44 and 47. Adana DS actually won the first ever Cup. They've won their second in 2045. Başakşehir have won it in 2046. And the latest champions have been AEK Athens, I think with their first win in 2048. It's been a long time coming for them because they've been very good so far in the video. The most consistent Greek club, although they do have rivals now in Panathinaikos and Olympiakos, but they have just won the latest cup competition in AEK. Into the Super Cup though, and it's a Saudi domination. Al Ittihad have won 2 of the last 5, and Al Nassr have won 3 of the last 5. We've had our second winner of a European competition and our first winner of the Europa League, and it's gone to Al Nassr, who won the Europa League in 2045, beating Villarreal in the final. So Al Nassr have been the most successful club so far of the video, it seems, and they've also just won the Europa League in 2045. Well, at the halfway point here, 25 seasons played. In third place, we have Besiktas, who have won 12 trophies so far. In second place, we have Al Hilal with 16 trophies. But way out in first place with 21 trophies are Al Nassr, who have also just recently won the Europa League as well. So Al Nassr are the team on top. Besiktas are still doing relatively well. Al Hilal, can they get back to their best? They're 11th in the league this season. At least they're back in the Super League. And Al Ittihad are the latest champions. So it's still up for debate who's going to win the most trophies of the video. But Al Nassr are the top team at the moment with 21 trophies in the first 25 seasons. Will Al Nassr still be in the lead in terms of trophies after 30 seasons? Another 5 seasons into the future, 30 seasons now, it hasn't changed in terms of reputation. Al Nassr are still top of that 4-star continental reputation, and AEK Athens are still in second place with 3.5 stars. But other 3.5-star teams here we've got Al Ittihad, we've got Besiktas in 4th place, Pyramids from Egypt in 5th place, that's a very nice rise from them. Al Sadd from Qatar there as well, we've got Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, Panathinaikos and Al Ali as well, all with 3.5 stars. So it's nice to see the top teams being a little bit more varied now. As you see, we've got a Greek team in 2nd place, also got Panathinaikos with 3.5 stars. Pyramids, the 5th biggest club from Egypt there. Al Sadd from Qatar as well. So it's nice to see that the league is starting to get a little bit more varied as we go along in the league system here. Also, Fenerbahce and Al Hilal remain with a 3-star reputation, unfortunately, so these two have definitely declined and not really getting back to their best as it stands. Well, into the Super League, and it's only about one team at the moment, and that is Al Nassr. They have won 5 Super League titles in a row from 2049 to 2053. They've also won 8 of the last 9 Super League titles. So is this the moment? Is this the moment where Al Nassr run away from everyone else in terms of the trophy race? Well, someone needs to buck their ideas up very, very quickly, because Al Nassr could run away with things very quickly here, because Al Hilal, their fiercest competitors, are not even in the Super League, as you can see here, so they aren't doing very well. Besiktas haven't won a Super League in over 10 seasons now, so yeah, it's looking very good for Al Nassr at the moment, not too good for everyone else. AEK Athens in 2nd place this season, only 4 points behind. Can we see a Greek club win the Super League? If we do, it's more than likely to be AEK. They look likely to be the next team to win a Super League title, to be honest. Either them or Al Sadd, the 2 teams that haven't won one yet. From the bigger clubs, that is. Galatasaray in 5th place, Besiktas in 6th place as well. Pyramids finished in 8th place this season, so a top half finish for them. That's nice to see. In terms of relegated teams, though, got 2 Turkish clubs in Antalyaspor and Göztepe, and Al Hilal from Qatar finished bottom of the league as well. Al Sadd have definitely taken the crown as the biggest Qatari club of the video, and Al Hilal ain't doing too much, let's be honest. Although they are in the Super League, or were in the Super League, so can't be too harsh on them, but Al Sadd are definitely flying the Qatari flag of the video. Well, into the First League, and Adana DS have won the latest First League title. They actually won 2 cups, of course, so far, Adana DS, so not in the Super League very often, but they have won 2 cups. Al Hilal have been promoted along with them, but they can't even win the First League these days, but at least they're back in the Super League, of course. University Craiova have also been promoted back to the Super League as well. I think for the first time, Craiova there, from Romania, of course, so they're also flying the Romanian flags, which is a little bit surprising, seeing we've got Steaua and CFR Cluj, Romanian clubs on the video here. Also, Fenerbahce have finally finished above 14th place. They finished 4th place this season, only 2 points behind Al Hilal in 2nd place, and almost got promoted. Also got a couple of Israeli clubs here, teasing us with promotion in Hapoel Beersheva and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Osijek in 9th place in the First League. That's nice for them. Olympiacos and PAOK unfortunately have been relegated back to the First League. And in terms of relegated clubs, we've got Orduspor, Zamalek and Al Jaish from Syria, all being relegated to the 2nd League. Well, in terms of the cup, Al Ittihad won it in 2049. Al Nassr have won 2 more of the last 4 cup competitions as well. Pyramids have won their first cup competition in 2051. I think that's the first Egyptian trophy as well in the video, so that's nice to see. Another country ticked off the list there. Pyramids in 2051. They've been really good so far. To be the 6th biggest club of the Empire is very impressive from them. Also, Besiktas won a cup in 2052. In terms of the Super Cup, though, again, all about Al Nassr. Al Ittihad, they made it back-to-back Super Cups in 2049, but Al Nassr have won the last 4 Super Cups in a row. We've had another finalist in the Europa League. Unfortunately, they lost this final this time, but it was Besiktas who reached the Europa League final in 2049, unfortunately losing to Tottenham. Well, 30 seasons played here, but as I said, Al Nassr are running away with things at the moment. We need to see someone step up and stop Al Nassr in the next 5 seasons. Otherwise, we could be crowning them very, very prematurely. Can AEK Athens from Greece win a Super League in the next 5 seasons? Before we go any further with the video, please remember to hit that like button for me. It's very important for the video's success. And also, if you're new around here and you want to see more Super League videos, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out. And much appreciated. So here we are, 35 seasons played now. Al Nassr are still the top team with a 4-star continental reputation, but they're joined on 4 stars with Al Ittihad, albeit with a national reputation rating though. In third place are AEK, who did have a 4-star reputation but declined back to 3.5 stars, and they're joined on 3.5 stars with more and more clubs these days, it seems, which is nice to see. We've got Besiktas, Trabzonspor, Panathinaikos, Pyramids, Al Ali, Galatasaray, Al Hilal, Antalyaspor, Samsunspor, and Konyaspor as well. So in the top teams here, of course, we've got the Saudi clubs, we've got a couple of Greek clubs in AEK and Panathinaikos. We've also got the Egyptian club Pyramids in here as well, and also a few Turkish clubs here popping up, lower ranked Turkish clubs here, 3.5 stars as well. Also Happy will be a Shiva, only just behind 3.5 stars, and they've also got a higher rating than Fenerbahce these days. Wow. Saying all that though, shouldn't really mention any other team because there's only one team to mention. Al Nassr. They have now made it 10 Super Leagues won in a row, and with only 10 seasons left to go, I think it's genuinely impossible now for any team to win more trophies than Al Nassr. Their 2 biggest rivals are Al Hilal and Besiktas in terms of the trophies won, and well, Besiktas are still threatening something in the video, but Al Hilal are nothing more than a mid-table Super League club at best these days. So, in my opinion, Al Nassr have won the most trophies of the video already, although it can still be stopped, but it seems highly unlikely. 10 Super Leagues won in a row for them. They've also won 13 of the last 14 Super League titles. So, Al Nassr dominating the Ottoman Empire at the moment, which is a little bit surprising, seeing as how similar level a lot of the teams are. To see one team dominate the league like this is quite surprising, but Al Nassr are doing it, dominating the league system here. Also, it seems like the Ottoman Empire Super League here is destined to be the 8th biggest league in Europe. It's been 8th for many seasons now. Definitely established itself as a reputable league, but not really climbing any higher than this. We look at the latest league table here. Al Nassr finished 7 points clear of Al Ittihad in 2nd place. Trabzonspor finished the season as the biggest Turkish club in 3rd place there, and AEK finished the season as the biggest Greek club in 4th place there as well. Pyramids are still doing very well. They're still a top half Super League team, 8th position for them. Very nice to see. Happy Beersheva managed to survive relegation this season, the biggest club from Israel these days. In terms of relegated teams, they've got Basikshir, Olympiakos, and ES Tunis. ES Tunis finished bottom of the league with 19 points, but nice to see them reach the Super League, the biggest team from Tunisia, of course. Wow, would you look at that? Into the First League, and Fenerbahce have finally made it back to the Super League. They have finished top of the league this season with 66 points. They were nothing more than a 14th place First League team for many seasons, but they threatened promotion last time we left off, and they won promotion this season. To see a team win the league with only a +5 goal difference is very surprising, it has to be said. So, yeah, they went out and performed amazing things this season, but they did win the league title, so I guess you can say that's something at least. They've been promoted along with Allianspor and Göztepe as well. Look at Al Sadd as well, the biggest club from Qatar, down in the First League now. Just missed out on promotion, but to see them be relegated is disappointing. In terms of relegated clubs though, PAOK from Greece are down into the 3rd tier now, along with Steaua Bucharest and Rapid Bucharest, both from Romania, of course. Also, look at that. In terms of the last 3 winners of the First League, how the mighty have fallen. Galatasaray won the First League in 2056, followed by Fenerbahce a year later, and now Fenerbahce as well. Well, into the Cup, that is also being dominated by Al Nassr, because they have won 3 of the last 5 Cups, including back-to-back Cups in his latest 2 seasons. AEK Athens won another Cup in 2055, and Al Ittihad won it in 2056 as well. Also, the Cup is the 8th biggest Cup in Europe as well, along with the Super League, and it has been the 8th biggest for a long time as well. So it seems like the Ottoman Empire is just destined to be the 8th biggest league system in Europe. Wow, into the Super Cup. If you didn't think the Al Nassr domination could continue anymore, they have won 4 of the last 5 Super Cups. AEK stopped them in 2056, but they've also won. They also won 6 Super Cups in a row, and they've also won 8 of the last 9 Super Cups. So I think it's safe to say that Al Nassr will go down as the most dominant force of the video here today, even with 10 seasons left to go. Well, in terms of the trophy race, in third place we have Besiktas still with 13 trophies. In second place we have Al Hilal still with 16 trophies, but champions of the video, absolutely guaranteed, are Al Nassr. They have won 44 trophies in 40 seasons here. 28 trophies more than the next best club, Al Hilal, who have won 16. Well, so, as I said, the trophy race is over now. Al Nassr have won the most trophies, that is guaranteed. Of course, second and third place aren't guaranteed yet. Al Hilal don't seem to be adding any more trophies to their trophy haul for the rest of the campaign, to be honest. Besiktas aren't doing that much, has to be said. Also, what would be nice to see, because we've only had Turkish or Saudi clubs win the Super League so far. Of course, other nations have won the Cup or the Super Cup, but it would be nice to see another nation lift, another club from another nation lift a Super League title in the last 10 seasons. Can someone stop Al Nassr's domination, though, within 5 seasons? Well, my apologies, that was actually 35 seasons played, not 40 seasons played. So we actually had 15 seasons more to go, but not like it makes much difference, because Al Nassr are still top of the reputation list. But look at this, they've now got a 4.5-star worldwide reputation, Al Nassr. So what a climb from them. They're doing magnificent things in the video now, Al Nassr. A worldwide reputation team with 4.5 stars. Absolutely brilliant from them. We've also got 3 4-star continental teams as well now, in Besiktas, Al Ittihad and AEK Athens. So these 3 clubs, well, they seem to be the clubs rivaling to finish in second or third place come end of the video, to be honest. After that point, we've got a whole host of teams of 3.5 stars, including Galatasaray, Konyaspor as well, both from Turkey, of course. Pyramids from Egypt in here. Al Dahel from Qatar. Panathinaikos from Greece, of course. Hapoel Beersheva from Israel. Then we've got 3 more Turkish clubs in Antalyaspor, Fenerbahce, and Trabzonspor as well. So nice to see a little bit more of a variety in terms of the big clubs. We've got an Israeli club here, a couple of Greek clubs, Qatari club, and an Egyptian club as well. But of course, still on top is a Saudi club in Al Nassr with a 4.5-star worldwide reputation now. And talking of Al Nassr, their domination continues, because now it's 15 Super Leagues, 1 in a row from Al Nassr, from 2049 to 2063, but they've also won 18 of the last 19 Super League titles as well. Also, as you can see here, the last 20 Super Leagues at least have all been won by Saudi clubs. So the Turkish clubs have gone quiet. But saying that, every club has gone quiet, because Al Nassr are just absolutely dominating things at the moment. If we look at this latest league table, though, very interesting here. Al Nassr finished 9 points clear of Al Ittihad in second place. But look at this. Konyaspor are the biggest Turkish club this season, finishing in third place. And Besiktas are the second biggest Turkish club, finishing in 5th place. AEK Athens are just guaranteed a top 5 finish almost every season, it seems. A very, very solid club. And it'd be nice to see AEK Athens be that club to win another Super League title, but they haven't done it yet, unfortunately. Also, nice to see a Romanian club here in the Super League, in University Craiova. They've been the biggest Romanian club for most of the video now, so they're holding their own very nicely. 10th position for them, very nice to see. Also, of course, Hapoel Beersheva in here from Israel as well. Pyramids just surviving relegation this season by 2 points. And talking of relegated clubs, well, Samsunspor finished bottom of the league with 22 points. And look at that. The 2 Greek clubs, Olympiakos and Panathinaikos, have both been relegated to the First League. Talking of the First League, and the latest champions have been ES Tunis. So they've been promoted back to the Super League for the second time. Can they remain in the Super League, though? That would be nice. Al Ittifaq and Maccabi Tel Aviv have also been promoted back to the Super League as well. Al Hilal are back in the First League, unfortunately, finishing in 7th place this season. So Al Hilal are finished, it has to be said. But also, look at this. Bottom of the league. Al Ali from Saudi Arabia finished bottom of the league with 25 points, relegated to the Second League. They won the Super League title not too long ago. Well, it is quite long ago now, actually, since Al Nassr won 15 in a row. More like 20 seasons ago, but still, Al Ali in the Second League is very disappointing for them. They've been relegated along with ES Satif from Algeria and Zamalek from Egypt. Well, into the Cup, and interestingly enough, Al Nassr haven't won a Cup in the last 5 seasons. Very bizarre. Besiktas have won 3, though. Besiktas won it in 2059, 2061 and 2062. Also, Al Ali, who've just been relegated to the Second League, have actually just won a Cup only 4 seasons ago in 2060. Well, 3 seasons ago, actually. Al Ittihad also won the latest Cup competition in 2063. Well, into the Super Cup, and no strange things here, because Al Nassr are dominating the Super Cup. They have won 4 of the last 5 Super Cups. Besiktas stopped them in 2062, though. They actually won. Al Nassr have still won 12 of the last 14 Super Cups, though, so Al Nassr have definitely won the most videos. It wasn't confirmed before, it's definitely been confirmed now. But look at Besiktas. Besiktas, judging by this, have overtaken Al Hilal as the second biggest club of the video so far. Well, we actually look at the biggest clubs in Europe here. Al Nassr make the first page now with that 4.5-star worldwide reputation, just below Borussia Dortmund. So Al Nassr to be, well, they're actually the 23rd biggest club in Europe, so that's very nice from them. Can they climb any higher than this, though? We shall see. But, yeah, doing very well, Al Nassr, has to be said. Absolutely dominating domestically. But they're also starting to make inroads in Europe as well. Let's go forward now to 45 seasons. Can someone finally stop Al Nassr's Super League domination? 5 seasons further in the future, but still no change here. Al Nassr are still top of the reputation with a 4.5-star reputation still. They have declined to only be continental now, but still with a 4.5-star rep rating. After that point, though, we actually have 5 teams now with a 4-star reputation, all continental as well. Besiktas, Al Ittihad, Galatasaray, AEK, and Konyaspor as well. So Konyaspor representing Turkey very nicely here as well, the 3rd biggest Turkish club these days. Just below that point, we've got more 3.5-star teams. We've got Antalyaspor doing very well as well. Pyramid still in here. Başakşehir, Al Dahel, Trabzonspor, Panathinaikos, and Fenerbahce. So Al Dahel are now the biggest club from Qatar, overtaking Al Sadd, who have declined in the recent seasons. A lot of Turkish clubs here as well. To be honest, the Turkish clubs are the most consistent clubs, but Al Nassr and Al Ittihad are still in the top 3. Al Hilal have declined, of course, rapidly over the last few seasons. Also, Al Ali massively declined as well. Finally, someone stopped the Al Nassr domination. Al Nassr did make it 18 Super Leagues in a row, though, but Galatasaray were the team to stop Al Nassr, the team who started off as the biggest team from the Ottoman Empire. In the 44th season, they finally won their first Super League title. So Galatasaray, shocking from them, but at least they finally won a Super League title. But yeah, not very impressive from them, it has to be said. Also, Besiktas have won the latest Super League title as well in 2068. And if we look at the latest league table, Besiktas finished 4 points clear of Al Ittihad and Galatasaray in joint 2nd place, and Al Nassr in 4th position. What has happened to Al Nassr over the last 5 seasons? They've still got a 4.5-star reputation, so they still must be doing something right, but only 4th in the league this season. Also, Gaziantep, nice climb from them, 7th in the league this season. They're a Turkish club, just above Pyramids, who are in 8th position again. Always love a top half finish, Pyramids. And in terms of relegated clubs, well, Al Shabab have been relegated from Saudi Arabia, along with University Craiova from Romania, and also Osijek have been relegated with only 19 points, but nice to see Osijek, the only representative from Croatia, reach the Super League, but unfortunately they've been relegated, along with University Craiova as well from Romania. Well, into the first league, and the latest champions have been Al Hilal, so nice to see them win another competition, but not the competitions we expected them to be winning. They had such a great start to the video, Al Hilal, and they just fell off a cliff. Don't know what happened to them. They've been promoted along with Ankara Gucu, and also ES Tunis from Tunisia have been promoted to the Super League again, so they've represented Tunisia very well, has to be said. A little bit of a yo-yo club, but they're doing very well. Al Sadd, 7th position in the first league here. Al Ali from Egypt in 8th position. They haven't done much of the video, let's be honest. Pyramids have definitely overshadowed them massively. Also, Fenerbahce are back to being the mid-table first league club, and Olympiacos has been relegated back to the 2nd league again. Olympiacos has been up and down, it has to be said. They haven't won a competition, unfortunately, Olympiacos, but they did get back to the Super League, but now been relegated back to the 2nd league again, along with Zamalek and Maccabi Tel Aviv as well. Well, great story in the cup, because we've seen our first Romanian winner of the video, and it goes to University Craiova. How could it be anyone different? They've done great in the video, it has to be said. They started off as the 4th or 5th biggest Romanian team, and have overshadowed everyone else. They won a cup in 2064, so nice to see another nation represented here. Al Nassr won one more in 2065, but they've gone really quiet in the cup. They were very, very consistent in the cup, but they've only won one of the last 10 seasons or so, so not done too much, has to be said. Antalyaspor have won it in 2066 as well, from Turkey, of course. Pyramids won another cup in 2067, and Al Dahel from Qatar won it in 2068 as well. Also, unlike the Super League, the cup has increased in reputation in the last 5 seasons, now the 6th biggest cup in Europe. Well, the Super Cup is still all about Al Nassr. They made it 5 Super Cups in a row from 2063 to 2067 until they were stopped by Pyramids from Egypt, who won it in 2068. Well, Al Nassr have reached the Europa League final again in this latest season, but this time, unfortunately, they lost the final to Valencia in 2068. Well, only 5 seasons left to go, and in terms of the trophy race, it's still the same top 3, but Al Hilal are now in 3rd position with 16 trophies still. In 2nd place, we now have Besiktas with 18 trophies, but way out in 1st place, by an absolute mile, are Al Nassr, who've won 61 trophies in 45 seasons. So Of course, we've known for a while now that Al Nassr will win the most trophies of the video, but Besiktas in second place with 18 trophies seem to be nailed on unless any other team can dominate the last 5 seasons of the league system. Can someone different though, a different club from a different nation win the Super League in the last 5 seasons? Can Pyramids win it, or can AEK Athens win it? Well, here we are, 50 seasons are played, and the team who end off the video as the biggest club from the Ottoman Empire are Al Ittihad with a 4-star reputation. They've overtaken Al Nassr at the end of the video here. Al Nassr is still in second place with 4 stars. We've actually got 6 teams here with 4-star reputation, which include Al Ittihad, Al Nassr, AEK Athens, Besiktas, Galatasaray and Konyaspor as well. Galatasaray and Konyaspor only with a national reputation though, the other 4 with continental. But 6 teams ending the video with 4-star reputation is very nice. It seems like the team's reputation is getting better and better as the video goes on. In terms of 3.5-star teams, we've still got Pyramids here, are still holding their own very nicely. Trabzonspor, Fenerbahce, Basikshir, and they've also got Panathinaikos and Talyaspor. Al Hilal have had a little bit of a climb in the last 5 seasons, and Al Ettifaq as well. Wow. Nice to see another team dominate at the end of the video here, but unfortunately we couldn't see any other nation, any other club from another nation win the Super League. Only Turkish or Saudi clubs. Al Nassr won another one in 2069, but then Al Ittihad ended up as a dominant team, winning the last 4 Super League titles from 2017 to 2073. So Al Ittihad definitely end the video as the biggest Ottoman Empire club. Unfortunately, it didn't do much in the middle period. Only done something at the start and the end, basically. So, but still, Al Ittihad with 4 in a row is very nice for them. They could have won the second most trophies above Besiktas. I have to count them up at the end here. Also, look at this though. In second position is Pyramids. Pyramids finished in second position this season, qualifying for the Champions League. So, great story from them. They came very close to winning the Super League. Of course, AEK Athens came close on many occasions as well. So, we came very close to seeing another nation win the Super League title, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. Al Ittihad though were dominant this season. They finished 12 points clear of Pyramids and Al Nassr in second and third place. We had Fenerbahce in 4th place. We had Basikshir, Al Ettifaq and Galatasaray following them. Also, Al Hilal ended the video in the Super League, which is something for them at least. At least they salvaged some sort of pride. Also, of course, Tepe ended up finishing off in the Super League as well, which is good for them as well. In terms of relegated clubs, well, Dana got relegated. They won 2 cups though in the video, so good for them. Ankara, Guku as well got relegated, and also Al Ali got relegated from the Super League. At least Al Ali made it back to the Super League. They got relegated to the second league. They're back in the Super League, but albeit being relegated in the final season. Well, in terms of the first league, the last champions were Al Dehail from Qatar. They're absolutely dominant this season. 84 points, 18 points clear of Samsunspor in second place. And Zamalek, who also got promoted back to the first league. Nice to see Al Ali from Egypt doing some sort of resurgence towards the end of the video. They started off in the Super League, fell off a cliff, but they got back to the first league and almost got promoted to the Super League again in the final season here. Also, Olympiakos ended off the video in the first league along with Ferencvaros as well. Steaua Bucharest in here. Osijek and ES Tunis in here as well. In terms of relegated clubs, well, University Craiova, who were in the Super League not too long ago, also won a cup as well. They've been relegated to the second league, along with PAOK from Greece as well. Well, in terms of the cup, a little bit of an interesting story to end the video here, because Trabzonspor have been very quiet so far in the video. They actually ended off the video with 3 of the last 4 Ottoman Empire Cups, which is quite interesting. In 2070, 2071 and 2073. Just nice to see their name get out there. Also, Al Ittihad won 2 more as well in 69 and 72. In the Super Cup, though, Al Ittihad ended off the video dominant. They won the last 4 Super Leagues and the last 4 Super Cups as well. Besiktas also won a Super Cup in 2069. Well, unfortunately, no more teams reached the European final. Of course, no one ever reached the Champions League final. Well, of course, that's very much a very hard ask. But we did have one winner of the Europa League in Al Nassr, and one winner of the Europa Conference League as well in Al Hilal. Before I count out the trophies of the video, of course, we know Al Nassr won the most trophies. Let's have a look at the records of each of the league systems here, of each of the leagues here, should I say. Well, in terms of most times won in the Super League, of course, that goes to Al Nassr, who won 28 Super Leagues out of 50. Very nice from them. In terms of most league defeats in a season, that actually went to Al Ali from Egypt, who lost 30 games in the first season out of 34. So they're an absolutely terrible season in the first ever season here. Also, the highest ever attendance went to the Al Hilal versus Al Nassr game. I think that's the Riyadh Derby, if I'm correct there. That was actually a 92,000 capacity in 2039. So what a stadium that must be. Nice that. Lowest attendance, on the other hand, though, went to Ludogorets versus Al Nassr as well, with only 1,000 people in attendance in that game in 2025. And the highest average attendance actually went to Al Ittihad in the final ever season with a 58,959 average attendance. Also strange to see that the biggest win of the league, well, it can't be right. The biggest win went to Al Hilal, who won 5-0 versus Red Star in the first season. I highly doubt no other team won more than 5-0 in the other 50 seasons, so I think that's a bug there, along with the highest scoring match as well. In terms of most matches won in a row, though, that went to Al Nassr, no surprise there, who won 16 games in a row in the 2056 season. On the other hand, though, the most matches lost in a row went to Al Shabab, who lost 12 matches in a row in the first season. Also, most matches without losing went to Al Nassr with 44 games unbeaten, from the 17th of November 2045 to the 19th of January 2047. And the most matches without winning also went to Al Shabab, another record they don't want, with 25 games without winning. The most matches without conceding, though, went to AEK Athens, who didn't concede a goal for 8 games in the 2043-2044 season. As I said, disappointing to not see AEK lift the Super League title. They're probably the biggest team of the video, at least, to not win a Super League title. Of course, there's other massive clubs who didn't do anything in the video, but AEK Athens were a solid team, a solid top 5 team for many seasons, so unfortunate not to see them win the Super League. Also bring it home for Greece as well. In terms of most matches without scoring, that went to Alianaspor with 7 games without scoring in the 2035 season. Wow, okay. And the worst team discipline actually went to Red Star Belgrade. In the first season, they got relegated and fell off a cliff, but you're getting 73 yellow cards and 7 red cards in one season. That certainly isn't going to help you. Well, in terms of the first league, the most times won of a club in the first league actually went to Alianaspor, who won 5 first league titles in total. Most points in the season, though, went to Adana DS, obviously the team who won 2 cups, which is very nice for them. They finished with 91 points in the 2047 season. They also had the record for most league wins in the season as well, with 28 in that same season, of course. Most league defeats in the season, though, went to Yeni Malatyaspor with 37 defeats in the 2025 season. There's only 38 games in the season, so Yeni Malatyaspor actually didn't lose one of their games in the seasons, which is absolutely terrible there. Absolutely pathetic from them, it has to be said. Most league draws in the season also went to Al Shabab. They like a record, Al Shabab. At least it's a bit better than the other two they've got, with 20 draws in the 2057 season. And the fewest league draws in the season went to Yeni as well, Malatyaspor, with 1 draw in that 2025 season. So in the 2025 season, they finished bottom of the league with 1 point. 1 draw and 37 defeats. Not a great season from them, it has to be said. Also, the highest attendance in the first league also went to Al Hilal with 92,000 versus Al Shabab, a fellow Saudi club, in 2063. And the lowest attendance was 669 people between Pushkas Academy from Hungary, of course, versus Kasımpaşa. 669 people. What on earth happened there? I have no idea. And the highest average attendance went to Fenerbahce with 52,000 in the first league. Let's be honest, Fenerbahce should never be in the first league, nor should Al Hilal, so not really a great record for them. Most matches won in a row went to Alianaspor, who won 12 in a row in the 2033 season. And most matches lost in a row went to Yeni, who lost 23 games in a row. Not surprised about that. Panathinaikos, though, had the record with most matches without losing with 25 in the 2046 season. And the most matches without winning, of course, goes to Yeni again, with 38 games without winning. Also, very interesting to see this. Olympiacos hold the record for the most matches without conceding with 8. But they also hold the record of most matches without scoring with 9. So Olympiacos, they've had their good days and bad days in the first league, it has to be said. In 2027, they went 9 games without scoring a goal. 30 seasons later, they went 8 games without conceding a goal. So Olympiacos definitely were a strange club in this video. Well, of course, I didn't mention the second league too often, has to be said. But in terms of the most times won, it actually went to Steaua Bucharest. Well, the Group A, at least, that is. They won the Group A 4 times, Steaua Bucharest. Didn't do much past that point, though. Most points of the season, they went to Göztepe, who got 104 points in the first season. They also won 34 league games in that season as well, so a great season from them. Fewest league wins in a season went to Partizan Belgrade, who won not a single game in the second ever season of the video here. So they got relegated in the first season from the first league, went down to the second league, and they didn't win a game. So yeah, terrible from Partizan. They also had the most league defeats in that season. Not in that season, actually. So they actually got more defeats in the season than that season they didn't win a game. So that's very strange. They lost 31 games in the 2049 season, but they didn't win a game in the 2025 season. So again, Not a record you want to see for a team like Partizan Belgrade, but unfortunately, they just could not get the grips with this league system, along with Red Star as well. Fewest league defeats in the season, I went to Göztepe with none in the first ever season, so they had an invincible season there, nice for them. Also, the highest attendance in the second league Group A actually went to 74,100 spectators for an Egyptian derby between Zamalek and Al Ahly. So that was a nice crowd for a third division Ottoman Empire league system game there. The lowest attendance, on the other hand, though, was between two Turkish clubs, of only 167 people in attendance in that game. And the highest average attendance went to Zamalek as well, with 48,700 people there in the 2025 season. Also, Göztepe won 32 games in a row in that season, went unbeaten. So what a dominant performance from them in their first ever season there. And Partizan lost 22 games in a row in the 2049 season. And these two clubs as well, following the similar theme of the record, as you can imagine. Göztepe went 36 games without losing in that same season, and 12 games without conceding that season as well. And Partizan in the first season went 34 games without winning. Well, into the Group B, obviously it's the same level of the pyramid, but different league altogether. Tishrin won the most Group B titles with 5. They are the biggest club from Syria. Also, the most points in the season went to Ankara Gücü, who got 90 points in the 2024 season. And fewest points in the season went to Bergama Sportif, who are a Turkish club, who only got 3 points in the season. Also, most league wins in the season also went to Ankara, 28 wins in that season. And fewest league wins in the season went to Zrinjski, who didn't win a single game in the 2037 season. Zrinjski are from Bosnia, by the way. Fewest league defeats in the season also went to Antalyaspor, with only 1 defeat in the first season. So Ankara Gücü and Antalyaspor must have been absolutely dominant in the first season, because Ankara got 90 points and won 28 games in that season, but Antalyaspor also only lost 1 game that season as well. Highest attendance in the Group B also went to that Egyptian derby between Zamalek and Al Ahly, with 80,000 people this time. And the lowest attendance went to Pristina from Kosovo, the lowest ranked team in the video, with only 180 people, versus Al Wahdat from Jordan, I believe. Also, most matches won in a row also went to Ankara in the first season with 13. Most matches lost in a row went to the other disappointing Serbian club, Red Star Belgrade, with 22 games lost in a row. But most matches without losing actually went to a Greek club in Aris, who went 32 games without losing. And Zrinjski from Bosnia also went 34 games without winning in the 2037 season. Well, in terms of the Ottoman Empire Cup, Al Nassr did win the most cup competitions with 9 cups won in 50 seasons, but they didn't win it by much. In second place, you have Al Ittihad, who won 8 cup competitions in total, and also Besiktas won 7 as well. So much more varied in the cup, it has to be said, but Al Nassr did win the most cups, as well as the most Super League titles as well. In the Super Cup, though, it's a whole different story, because Al Nassr were dominant. They won 24 of the 50 Super Cups as well. Well, in terms of the trophy race, in 4th position we have Al Hilal, who won 16 trophies in total, but most of those trophies came in the first 10 seasons, so they were terrible after that point, has to be said. They didn't end up the video in the Super League, but they were no more than a yo-yo club in the last 25 seasons or so, so very disappointing from them. In 3rd place, you have Besiktas with 19 trophies, the most successful Turkish club. In 2nd place, though, we have Al Ittihad, who had a very strong ending to the video, with 21 trophies in total, winning the last 4 Super Leagues and the last 4 Super Cups as well. But way out in 1st place, by a mile, are Al Nassr, who won 62 trophies in 50 seasons. So, yeah, I did not expect any team to be this dominant, has to be said, especially not Al Nassr. They're not even the biggest Saudi club. They're arguably the 3rd or 4th biggest Saudi club, below Al Ittihad and Al Hilal, of course. So, to see them be this dominant is very, very surprising. In terms of other clubs, though, Fenerbahce definitely chipped in with some trophies. They won 3 or 4 Super League titles, I believe. Yeah, they won 3 Super League titles, a couple of cups, a couple of Super Cups as well. Not that impressive from a team like Fenerbahce, but at least they did better than Galatasaray, who didn't do much at all, but at least they won a Super League title in the end. Only 1 Super League title for Galatasaray, only 1 cup as well, and 1 Super Cup. So, yeah, not great from Galatasaray, has to be said. Started the video as the biggest club of the Ottoman Empire, but at least they won a Super League title, at least they salvaged some pride from the video. Besiktas were obviously much more successful than the other 2 clubs, especially in the Super League for Besiktas. AEK Athens, you know what, their performances merited much more trophies, it has to be said. I think they won 2 cups, maybe a Super Cup as well. Yeah, they won 2 cups, AEK Athens, and 1 Super Cup, but look at this, they finished runner-up in the Super League on 8 occasions, so Wow, that's devastating for them. 8 occasions runner-up. They also finished runner-up in the Europa League as well. So AEK Athens should have done a lot better. Their performances warranted a lot more trophies, especially at least one Super League title, but wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Trabzonspor, well, they are the 4th biggest Turkish club. They ended the video with 3 out of 4 Ottoman Empire Cups, so they did well at the end of the video here. Al Hilal, of course, fell off a cliff. Panathinaikos were very disappointing, but at least they were mainly a Super League team, Panathinaikos. Al Ali won a few Super League titles, but fell off towards the end as well. But of course, as you can see here from the rest of the teams in the Super League, a lot of teams fell off quite rapidly as well. Pyramids, though, I forgot to mention Pyramids. What I mentioned to them, 2nd in the league in the final ever season. They also won a couple of cups as well. By far the best representative from Africa, from Egypt as well. If we look at the teams in the first league here, well, some massive fallers, as I mentioned before. Al Ali from Egypt started off in the Super League. They're firmly a 2nd league team most of the video. Ended off the video with a little bit of pride there, but didn't do much. Zamalek just above them as well. Also from Egypt, didn't do much in the video. Fenerbahce were disappointing. Hungary's biggest club. It didn't really go any further down in the first league, I don't think, but they didn't do much. They were just mainly a first league, mid-table first league team for most of the video. They did get to the Super League a couple of occasions. Olympiacos were a yo-yo club. Very disappointing from them. Not a single trophy won. Steaua Bucharest also did very disappointing as well. University Craiova, though, they did win a cup competition. The most successful team from Romania. But they ended off the video poorly. Also PAOK, bottom of the first league as well. In the 2nd league, gets even worse, of course. Al Sadd in the 2nd league these days as well. 3rd position in the 2nd league, so they fell off quite a lot. Also got Apoel here from Cyprus, the biggest Cypriot club, I believe. Look at Pristina, though. Nice to see that. Pristina got back to the 3rd tier. I never thought I'd see that. They started off with a 1-star reputation, and they fell out of the league system in the first season, but they did get back to the 2nd league, which is nice to see. Albeit with only 13 points, but that's a great story from them in itself, because they're very much weaker than the rest of the teams of the video, so nice to see them getting back to the 2nd league. Look at the Group B here. Sarajevo didn't do much, the biggest team from Bosnia. Milsami Orhai, by the way, I should mention them. They're the team from Moldova. They actually got promoted to the first league on a few occasions. As you can see, they won the second league Group A a couple of times. Well, both groups a couple of times, sorry, in total. And they finished third place 3 times, runner up 3 times as well. Got promoted about 4 or 5 times to the first league. Unfortunately, they could never get to the Super League, but they did represent themselves very well. Look at Red Star as well. Red Star bottom of the second league Group B with only 15 points. So a lot of teams fell off quite a lot, especially the Serbian clubs. Red Star and Partizan. I don't know quite what happened to those 2 clubs, but they fell off like an absolute cliff very early on. I wonder if there's any teams I'm missing out here. Well, I think Ludogorets actually fell off a cliff as well, because as you can see here, I can see the Ludogorets B and Ludogorets C squad, but I cannot see the Ludogorets main squad in the reputation list here. So the B team and the C team are actually higher reputation than the Ludogorets team itself. So they fell off a cliff, has to be said. At least they held their own a little bit in the early stages, though, unlike Red Star and Partizan. CFR Cluj, I can't see them anywhere either. They're Ludogorets, little 1-star local team Ludogorets, so they fell off a cliff massively, Ludogorets. Chornomorets, the only team from Ukraine, didn't do much, but they were quite a weak team in the video. CSK Sofia with a 1-star reputation as well. Biggest team from Bulgaria. Also got Vardar here, the team from Macedonia, of course. Levski Sofia also didn't do much. Debrecen as well. CFR Cluj. As you can imagine, there's a lot of massive clubs falling out. I haven't even seen Partizan Belgrade yet. I have no idea where they are. Red Star with 1-star local reputation. And Partizan are nowhere to be seen. I think Partizan are the biggest fallers. Looking at this. There they are. Found them finally. Partizan with a 1-star local reputation as well. So many teams fell off rapidly here in the league system. But saying that, it's just... You know, I said about the maximum 11 foreigners in the squad. It never seemed to affect AEK Athens, did it? They did very well in the video. Pyramids as well. So I guess you can say it might be an excuse for some clubs, but some clubs definitely didn't use that excuse at all. So, yeah, these teams fell off massively, especially Red Star and Partizan. Something did not happen right with them at the start of the video, it has to be said. But there's some great success stories from the video as well. Of course, Al Nassr won the most trophies by an absolute mile. Besiktas in 3rd place, and Al Ittihad in 2nd place as well. Al Hilal started off very strongly, but did very poorly towards the end. But honourable mentions have to go to AEK Athens, who deserved the Super League title, run up on 8 occasions. Run up in the Europa League as well. Gutting for them, but they were a solid team in the video, but they just couldn't win too many trophies. And also Pyramids as well, the most successful team from Africa, winning 2 cup competitions. Also won a Super Cup as well, I believe. So those 2 teams deserve a mention as well. But that is the end of this video, guys. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and much appreciated. And as I said, if you want to see another Super League in action, another Empire Super League, do let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.